Hines.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And there are so many important aspects to cover across sport, the creative and performing arts, events, heritage and more, as the chair of the Select Committee covered. But there are 4 minutes and I'm just going to talk about one, which is tourism. Very important for my constituency, 2/3 of which is in the South Downs National Park. And we have important heritage sites like Jane Austen's house, the Watercress Line and Gilbert White's house. But actually it matters to all of us nationally, with about close to a tenth of the economy and jobs, and being an important driver of export earnings. It's also been one of the sectors, of course, hardest hit by COVID. And I welcome all the support as others have set out, but now is the time to think boldly about the future and how we build back better. We've been gifted, Madam Deputy Speaker, a beautiful country, incredible cultural assets, and of course the English language, and we need to do more with them. There are multiple aspects to this. First, there's a long tradition of building too much capacity at the top of the cycle and too little at the bottom. I'd love to hear an update from the government on plans for 130,000 more hotel rooms, as well as plans for aviation capacity as markets recover. I'd love to hear a national yield management plan that brings together not only leisure travel, but travel for education purposes, for business conferences and events, getting more from our cultural assets, extending the season and building shoulder periods. Second comes skills and productivity, and I very much welcome the focus in the sector deal on productivity, and particularly the development of 2 T levels, that's central reform to our technical and vocational education, T levels in catering and in cultural heritage and visitor attractions. But today I want to talk mostly about marketing. And I was so pleased to hear of the independent Destination Management Organisation review. And many DMOs, as they're known, have, of course, been very hard hit by the pandemic. And those immediate problems must be addressed in this review. But I hope it also goes much further. DMOs are, in the best cases, cooperating, but also generally overlapping and sometimes actually competing with one another. We need to streamline the Destination Management Organisation network and the interaction of all parts of the public sector, which have a role in promoting and facilitating tourism. I welcome very much the success of the GREAT campaign, which has given a consistent message that we project across the world. But I want to talk about the volume of marketing. And in a recent Select Committee meeting, we heard from Visit Britain that Australia spends more in China than we do internationally. We are outspent massively in key volume markets, and we're not represented at all in some important development markets. And as we start to come out of this, source markets are going to be more competitive than ever. Now, the term investment gets a bit overused these days, but this really is about investment with tangible, bankable, and quite speedy returns to create jobs and support building back better. So I do urge the government to think further and think bigger about how it can invest in the growth of this powerhouse sector. Thank you.